how do you measure the effectiveness of your marketing plan, right? You pick a strategy, you come up with certain activities, you will say that you're going to target these people, and we'll be talking about targeting later. And you come up with an advertising plan, maybe a campaign, maybe, and you run the campaign. But then how are you going to measure that? Because monitoring and controlling is part of the strategic management process, right? So in order to monitor and control, you need some kind of measurements, metrics, things to measure, right? Criteria to measure, or we can call them key performance indicators, KPIs. You know, by measuring those indicators, you know that you are either performing or not performing, right? So these are some of the KPIs or metrics, criteria, indicators that you can use to measure your marketing plans success during implementation. So one is a very basic one is profit, right? So it can be gross profit or net profit, either way, you know, profit. So I mean, uh, uh, income minus expenditure, right? Basically. So the idea is that if your marketing plan is successful, then you will have more profit, right? So either during the campaign or after the campaign, soon after the campaign, if there is a visible spike in the profits, then we can attribute that to the marketing campaign. But the question is, how do you do that? Now, in order to do that, you need information. So you as the marketing manager will need to work with the finance team, finance department, in order to find a way to measure that, because you need to prove that this additional profit was earned because of the marketing exercise, the marketing activities that you did, right? But that is not always easy. Because if you think about a large organization with a lot of products, you know, fast moving consumable goods, FMCG sector kind of operations, you know, products are being sold continuously every day, every minute, and there are all kinds of campaigns going on. Sometimes the manufacturer, the mother brand, is doing their own promotions, you know. So how do you prove that the increase in sales was because of your campaign? That's always a tough one, right? Similar to that, but a relatively easier thing to measure is sales, either in terms of the value or in terms of the volume, the number of items that you sold, right? So, you know, if there's an increase in the number of sales, the volume or the items that are being sold, then that is a more easier thing to measure. So if you're running an outdoor campaign or something like that, if there's direct sales involved there, then you can say, okay, that's it. That's directly as a result of the marketing exercise that you do. Or if there is a marketing activity that is pushing a specific new product or something like that, then it is very easy to measure that, because you can count the number of new products that were sold, right? So sales is a relatively easier metric to measure. The other one is gross margin. Now that is again, you know, it involves it's similar to profit, right? It's similar to profit, but it's more to do with as a result of your marketing campaign, it's like as part of your marketing campaign, if you were able to sell the product at a larger margin, at a higher margin, for example, right? So if there's a price increase or something like that, were you able to sort of create a higher margin from the same product as a result of your marketing activity? So that's another metric. Another metric that people often use, or marketing people like to use this, but sometimes the consumers don't really value it, right? It's about awareness, right? So marketing people always say that we need to create awareness, we need to build awareness, we need to build brand awareness, right? That's always something difficult to measure, right? And sometimes even the consumers, maybe they became aware of the brand or the product as a result of a marketing campaign, but they are not really thinking about it in that way, right? So awareness, brand awareness is something that is used as a metric, but again, somewhat difficult to measure. And there is some resistance in the organization also from other departments when you try to push this. Now, I have first-hand experience when we talk, when in my capacity as a business development head, when I wanted to build awareness, when I wanted to run awareness campaigns, there was also always a resistance from other departments like finance and so on, especially. Why, right? What's the direct benefit? I mean, how do you prove that that you increased awareness? So that's always a bit of a challenge. The only way that you can sort of test this again is to do some kind of market research, like before the campaign, to see the level of awareness, and then do a marketing research after the campaign to check if the awareness has increased, right? Another metric is market share. We talked about market share yesterday. So market share is basically how much of percentage of the market that you as a competitor has, right? So how you measure that is basically you divide your sales value, your total annual sales value, for example, by the industry's total sales value, right? So for example, let's say that if we take Surangajit's company, they are an insurance company, and as an insurance company, they will calculate the total, let's say, revenue, right? Let's just take revenue as an example, the total revenue of 1 year, last year. And then they will have to also find out the total revenue of the whole of the industry, right? All the insurance service providers combined, what was the total revenue, right? And then you divide your revenue by the total industry's revenue, you get your market share, right? And you multiply that by 100, you get a percentage. So based on that percentage, you can calculate the market share of your other competitors as well accordingly, if you have that information, right? Usually you have that information because
yes,
they follow. So Rangajit, do you want to add something?
Yes, sir. We are calculating. Yeah, we are getting the GWP, the gross written premium.
Yeah.
we are getting the gross written premium (GWP) in the
GWP.
insurance industry. So
Right.
in the GWP, we calculate, yeah, and when you get the market share, the number one player is sharing a 19% market share, and the
90 or 19.
19,
19.
yeah, 19,
Okay.
19, yeah,
Okay.
19. The second player is having a 18% market share, and the
Mhm.
third company is having a 16% market share.
Right. Very close. So a large portion of the market share is like if it is what 19.
12 players, sir.
Huh?
There are 12 players in the
12
market.
players. Okay.
12 players, yeah.
Right. So the rest of the market share is distributed among the rest of the nine competitors. Is that correct?
Yes, correct.
Right. Okay. So there you go. Right. So one way is to sort of see the change in market share. Right. Change in market share as a result of your marketing exercise. Uh, Again, a number of new products that now this is something that has to do with innovation, right? Now, one of the strategies that a company can take, a marketing strategy that a company can take, is to be very innovative and introduce products very